Good morning, my friends. It's now 7 o'clock in the morning again. I'm looking quite horrid. I have a really nasty rosacea flare. Nothing to do about that, I guess. Have to start getting medication, I think. So this is a chat to get ready with me. I'm going to use my Shiseido, a little bit more full coverage one, but I am going to mix it. So this is Synchro Skin Self Refreshing. This one is called. You have it there. You flip the top off to start pumping. Get a little dot like that. But I do need some extra, I wouldn't say coverage necessarily, but I do need some extra hydration because it is rather matte. So I'm using my Lisa Eldridge ones as well. I'm mixing the two because that one is much more liquid. And I'm blending them with my It Cosmetics brush. And the Lisa foundation drops or enhanced tint, I am in the color T3. Sorry, it's so difficult speaking English the first thing in the morning for me, because then I have to think. That's why I'm mixing in Swedish words and sound like I have really bad English. There we go. And like I said before, this one might look a bit light on me, but it actually is my skin color. I'm in the color Opal, which is very appropriate since I'm working as a gemologist and I love opals. To me, it's a quite odd choice of word, because opals, to me, I mean, they're fair, some of them, but they also have play of color, and this one does not. But that's just me. It's easier for me to remember the color though when it's called something with a gemstone, because I think of work. Oh, there we go. It doesn't cover it up like all of it, but good enough. I'm actually gonna take some more, I think. Let's see if I can cover it a bit. I'm just taking the Shiseido one. Sorry, my voice is a bit. You are the first people I'm talking to today, apart from saying goodbye to my kids. They left. But this foundation is quite matte, so I actually don't really need to set it with powder. It's quite self-setting. I do use the NARS and Iris van Herpen finishing powder. Just gets a nice finish on it. But I don't need to powder this one, which is always good. Trying to finish this one. It's taking a while. Look insane, I know. Sorry. Almost done. I'm going to try and keep it short so I can upload it as a reel, but it needs to be less than 15 minutes, I think. Maybe 20, but we'll see if I can manage that. I'm going to use another favorite one of mine. This is a NatashaDenonaeam Mini Dream Palette. This is a trusted follower that I've been bringing with me all across the world. It's just, this shade is perfect on me. It's my best trusted transition color. But I find that I can make quite nice, I can make a very simplistic look. I can make a little bit more glam look. I absolutely adore these small ones. The only thing I wish is that you could change the pots, that they could make them magnetic instead. That would be everything. Because I have, like in the black and white one, the white one is light enough for me, which I'm super happy about, because almost no shadows are light enough for my face. So I'm always really happy when I find something that works for me. But you can see this one is really nice. I am going to make a quite basic eye look, but I am going to use a bright blue, well, not bright blue, a little bit more navy blue liner. It is quite bright blue. And then I'm going to use blue mascara to get a pop of color. I went to the Tom Ford counter a couple of days ago. I bought a bright blue pencil. I haven't tried the Tom Ford pencils, but I've heard such good things about them. I'm following this really amazing girl called Lisa on YouTube. She makes very nice YouTube videos. I'll write her name in the comments because I can't remember her last name. But she was talking about the TomFordliners, and we seem to have the same taste in makeup. So I was planning on buying a black one, but they had these amazing bright blues, turquoise and purple ones. I think they might be new. They certainly were limited edition. So I ended up with a blue one instead. And I'm actually considering buying a turquoise one because I love turquoise. And it's also a very nice complementary color to brown. So I started with this little guy, and I'm gonna jump into that one just to get a little bit deepness. But the purple one was very nice as well. But they are expensive. I think I paid something like 150 Swedish kroners. Well, I mean, it is about the same as you would pay for a Victoria Beckham one. And I'm assuming it's worth it because it's high quality. Going back into the lighter one, just smudging the edges. There we go. Taking a little bit of the darkest brown. But this little guy, this little palette has been, well, in 2025, in the first 6 months, I was in the US, I was in Morocco, I was in Japan, Spain, Amsterdam, Scotland, London. So, I mean, it does travel with me extensively, and it never fails me. And that was just the first 6 months. I brought it to Hong Kong as well. So I usually take this one and maybe one more that size. I also very much enjoy these ones. Sorry, I just need to, I'm sorry if you can see I have my suitcase stash in the corner. I have 2 suitcases and a weekend bag and a pair of shoes, I think, and my yoga mats. because I'm an avid yogi. These little guys from Pat McGrath, I mean, love. Everyone hated the packaging. I love it. It makes it so much easier to travel with. I have them in, they only release 2 colors, and I have this one and it's an orange one. And these ones have also traveled very extensively with me. Absolutely brilliant. Wouldn't be without them. I'm not sure actually if you can get a hold of them anymore, which is slightly worrying, because I would be so unhappy if I couldn't get my grubby little hands on them. The NatashaDenonaeam ones you can absolutely get, and there are, I think I probably have 12 maybe different ones, possibly more. So those ones you can find in almost any color, but this is my absolute favorite. I mean, I would say that this is probably, besides the Mario mattes, neutral matte ones, my most used palette of all of them. And I have hundreds. Last time I counted, I think I also had 115. I know, it's an addiction, and makeup really makes me happy. I don't drink that much and I don't do anything else, so I spend my money on makeup. And that's why I thought I might start doing YouTube, because I need some reason to continue this madness. So if I can save you guys a few bucks and tell you what's good and what's not, and maybe help you in your choices, it might be a little bit more worth it. And I can continue to buy insane amounts of makeup, which I probably would do anyways. But it is actually, I mean, every morning when I sit down at my makeup desk, which I will film when I have cleaned it because it looks like somebody dropped a bomb, it actually gives me so much joy. I'm taking this center one. It's actually quite light, which I thought it would be too dark for me, but it's not. But every time I sit down at my desk, and normally I haven't dressed, the first thing I do is put my makeup on, but I'll spare you that one. I get such joy out of just thinking of what am I going to do today? Which colors do I want to use? It really makes me happy. So I consider it my morning yoga, or mindfulness at least, because it makes me happy. And it's always been like that. I mean, I started doing my makeup when I was 10. And the funny thing is that my mum, she's done her makeup the same way since probably the 80s. She has one black and brown Lancome eyeliner, and she's been using it since I was a kid. She has one color lipstick. Well, she has like 20 lipsticks, but they're all the same color. She doesn't change it. And she has a bronzer and a mascara, and it should be a black-brown mascara. That's it. That's all she ever used. So my first makeup experience was stealing my mum's brown kajal liner and drawing the inner rim, and then mascara. So that's what I used. I think I have a picture from 4th grade. So I must be 11 in that picture, and I've made a very nice tight line. So it's been a passion. And of course, I'm old. I'm about to turn 47 in a few weeks. So this was very much pre-internet. So we bought books. We didn't have any YouTube. So Kevin Aucoin's books, I have all 3 of them. I read and loved. And then, of course, I was working at a makeup counter. We have a makeup brand in Sweden called Face Stockholm, which in those days were really quite revolutionary because they had all different kinds of eyeshadows. It was a bit like the Swedish version of MAC. We couldn't get a hold of MAC in the, well, it was in the late 90s that it finally came to Stockholm, but before that we only had Face Stockholm. So I was working at Face for a few years, and I just enjoyed it. Actually, the first couple of months I got paid in brushes. I mean, I didn't even get money. I got makeup and brushes, which to me was awesome. So here we have the new bright blue Tom Ford eyeliner. Let's see where this goes. Haven't tried it, first time using it. I am going to use it on my inner rim as usual. The girl at the Tom Ford counter showed me something spectacular with the mixing this one with the turquoise. That was absolutely stunning. So she really inspired me, so I think I need to go back. That is rather blue. I like it. It is bright blue. I wonder if it's too bright for my upper line. Might prefer to do like a dark brown, maybe a dark blue. But it is looking very nice. That's all right. I don't know how much you can see. I have some fallout from the line, the eyeshadow. That's nice. I really like that. And I am going to use my Rum Navy Blue, but I'm just going to use it at the center, and then I'm going to use my bright blue IsaDora mascara. So I'm going to mix the two. And it's just because I want a little bit more darkness towards the roots. Makes my lashes look a little bit more fat. There we go. It's not necessary on the bottom lashes. I don't really mind them not being thick, but this one is bright blue. So put that on top of the rum. See what happens then. But this is actually the red one, the IsaDora one is actually a very good mascara. It doesn't smudge that much on me, and a lot of mascaras, I can't use the L'Oreal ones. I mean, they smudge horribly on me. Love the brushes. I think they make some exceptional mascaras, but it just doesn't work on me. Maybelline is fine. Those stay. But the mascaras, I mean, I can use them. Then I just have to put like the little blue mascara from MAC. I can't remember what it's called. It's only in black. You can only find the black one. I put that on the tips of my lashes just so they don't smudge. So I can use them. It's not that I have to throw mascara away. So there we go. So you have like bright blue tips. I really like this mascara. It's very Yves Klein blue. If you don't know who Yves Klein is, he is an artist that makes really beautiful sculptures and things in this ultramarine and bright blue, which is very typical for his work. And I love that blue color. Wish I could own one of his pieces, but they are very expensive. There we go. That's the rum. And then on with the IsaDora. This is quite a subtle way to get some color into your look, especially when you keep it quite basic on the rest of the face. Oh, what's wrong with my eyes today? Oh, I made a mess on my mascara tube and on my fingers. Great. At least I'm not doing hot yoga today, so I'm not going to look like a smurf. But actually last time I did hot yoga and I had my Hermes and the bright burgundy bluish look. It actually stayed put, which is surprising because I was sweating so much. It got sweating in my eyes and it was just horrid. But it stayed put. I was very, very impressed. Actually didn't look half bad when I got out of an hour of doing hot yoga in 40 degrees Celsius. So that was a bit surprising because I actually thought that I was going to have my makeup like hanging down my face. And of course I forgot, I have like towelettes that I can just wipe my makeup off, but I had forgotten them. I normally would wipe my makeup off, of course, before I enter the hot yoga studio, but I didn't. Sorry, I know it sucks watching me doing the brows and mascara, but I still don't know how to edit my videos. I'm really sorry about that. And final step, using a blush. I will be using a Gucci limited edition one, and I have no idea what it's called. It's called Silky Rose 01. Perhaps it's one of those, like, you can still find the shade, but it's the packaging that's limited. I have no idea. There we go. That's the color, if you can see it. It's a little bit peachy. I am going to take this one. Oh, my light died. Sorry about that. It's time to go to work. Taking some of my rosacea. And the absolute final step is just to put on some powder. And it's the Iris Van Herpen NARS powder again, the finishing powder. Like I've said before, it has a lot of green in it, which counteracts redness. And there we go. I'm going to put up I have a little extra one. There we go. That's the look for today. Have a lovely, lovely day, my friends, and I will see you soon. Bye.